Tony, welcome to Gun.
Hey, Joe, how are you?
I gotta pat you down though, pal.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Got anything on you? Anything I should know?
I got nothing.
Anything weird going on?
What?
All right, you go in, Tony.
Good. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Tom Kelly of The Tom Kelly Show. Yes, this is not the only time I've gotten on my knees in the back room of a comedy club.
The Knockem Dead Comedy Radio Show is also brought to you by Two Eagles Auto Body. For more than 25 years, Two Eagles Auto Body has been the leader in auto body repairs and customer satisfaction on Long Island. Two Eagles Auto Body handles every type of auto repair, from custom applications and restorations to repairs involving insurance claims. Give Two Eagles Auto Body a call and please ask for John Rossi at 516-328-2527. That's 516-328-2527.
Hey, how do you say there, people? It's Johnny Brennan, creator of the Jerky Boys, also of Fox TV's Family Guy fame. I just want to let you know you're listening to Tony on the Knockem Dead radio show. They're gonna keep knocking them dead, so keep listening, you wacky sons of bitch. Right there. Over and out there, sweet Charlie.
Long time no see, man. Hey, man, I miss you guys, man, at Knockem Dead Comedy Radio.
Hey, Tony, you're not funny, and you probably shit yourself a lot, and you're no fun to be with, and you don't make that much money, and you're not going anywhere in show business, and I hope you get hit by a bus.
Let's give a big shout out to Tony Walker.
Tony Walker, who's a friend of mine.
Tony Walker!
Tony Walker! Tony Walker, everybody. Stand up, Tony. Where are you? Tony Walker! Thank you so much, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Walker. Our favorite. We love you.
Knockem Dead Comedy Show.
Let's give a big shout out to Tony Walker.
Tony Walker, who's a friend of mine.
Tony Walker!
Tony Walker! Tony Walker, everybody. Stand up, Tony. Where are you? Tony Walker!
'cause I had a tune. Will you stand up and walk out on me? Lay me on knees and I sing you a song. I will try not to sing out of key. Oh, baby, I for my friend, gotta get out of all my friends. For my friends, don't you know I wanna get high? For my friends, what do I do when my love is away? Does it worry to be alone? No, no. How do I feel at the end of the day? Are you sad because you're on your own? I just want to get all my friends together. Gotta get all my friends. I need someone to love. Would you believe in our love at first sight? Something that happens all the time, you know it does. What do you see when you turn up the light? I won't say nothing, but it sure feels like mine. I gotta get my friends together, and it sure feels right. It feels alright right now. It feels alright with my friend now. When all friends are gone, oh, it's nothing. It's miles on, miles on, miles on. Don't you know where
All right. Whoops. Get rid of that. Okay. Hi, everybody. It is Thursday. Welcome to the Knockem Day Comedy Show here on Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. Thanks for joining us. We got a lot going on here today. It's going to be a great show. Let me turn some mics on. The Knockem Day Comedy Show, we're coming at you live on Gov's Comedy Club Podcast, the Facebook page, the YouTube channel. If you'd like to comment throughout the show and say hi and join in our conversation, please do so on the YouTube feed because that is where we monitor the comments. And, of course, we ask that you share the link on all your socials. Tell everybody you know about all the great shows here at Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. And this is going to be a great one today. We're live from the legendary Governor's Comedy Club, and we have some legends of Long Island music right here, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, Jeff is here. Frank is here. But joining us today, Kenny Forgione. We have Chris Clark, and we have Sue Turner over there.
Yay!
Long Island music legends. Mostly known for the band Wondrous Stories, but of course they've all graduated and done all these wonderful other things as well. But I think one thing we're not getting today is any music. Is that right? Because you're with me. We're all sick.
Well,
we're all spreading germs today.
I'm sick in the head. I actually don't feel that sick, but I do have a frog in the throat, and occasionally I can sing a little bit. And then
we could just get some guitar playing. Then we can get no singing and some guitar playing. Putting the pressure on. There is a guitar right there.
No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure at all there, Kenny. No. But, all right, before we do anything else, because I'm going to forget if I don't do this first. Today is your day?
Yeah,
it is Kenny Forgione's birthday, ladies and gentlemen.
Woo! Happy birthday, sir.
16 years old. It's amazing what he's accomplished in such a young age. I owe you an apology. You called me the other day. I was supposed to call you back. I've been sick. If I haven't been in here, I've been home sleeping.
I forgot about that.
Oh, that's well. Let me tell you what I've done for you, sir. So I don't know. I'm a little confused because it's your birthday, and you brought everybody in, and you brought Steve. You were going to bring Steve Holly.
Yes.
Which I was like, all right, but it's not my birthday. Why is he bringing me? Not that it wasn't appreciated. It was definitely appreciated. And Steve Holly, former member of Paul McCartney Wings, he'll be calling in around 11:30. Kenny got him sick, which is why he's not here with us now. But let me tell you what I was going to do to show my appreciation and as a birthday gift. I don't know if you still buy CDs, but I didn't know what else to get you, and I don't know if not only CDs, but I don't know if you get bootlegs at all. But this is a soundboard recording of Paul McCartney and Wings from 1979 with Steve Holly on drums.
Nice.
And that
I'll take it.
Two CDs. That's for you.
Wow.
Happy birthday, pal.
Steve's probably going to say, "Can I get one?"
I thought he was going to maybe ask me for $10.
Yeah, I was going to say
he's
money,
on it.
yeah.
But yeah, and I would have told him. I would have bought him tea. I guess like you know, everybody's getting tea this morning. So happy birthday! This is this. These are your birthday plans right here, or
what's the agenda for the day? For the
what's that?
Unfortunately,
so
I have
far?
no life.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know if I should yell at you or yell at you. Like you guys got to do something better than this.
The reason why I'm bringing my friends along, including Chris, and I was going to bring Steve Holly, is because we had our 31st anniversary of Wondrous Stories show last night.
Nice at the warehouse.
At the warehouse, it was packed.
Nice.
It was fun, right? It was fun. It was really a lot of fun.
Yeah, you had some former members of the band, right? Come by, right?
Yes, I did, including the original drummer, Mike Bellucci, who was in Strawberry Fields.
Right,
like
right.
I said. Now, so Steve was supposed to come here today, but he was feeling, all out of sorts. And he said, "You know what? I can't make it, but I'll call in."
Yeah, which is great,
So
and it's appreciated, and I hope he's feeling all right. So, and then Chris, when you walk in there, are you like pushing Bonder aside? So let me show you how it's done, pal.
Oh, goodness gracious, no.
He's a troublemaker. I forgot to tell you.
Yes,
that.
yeah, I am. What's that? Just a little. Yeah,
a little bit.
I am nothing like Frank. I tell everybody that Frank is the nice one. I am. People, oh, you're Frank's brother? They expect a nice guy, and it just doesn't happen.
Yeah, Frank's the quiet one.
Frank's the
quiet one.
The quiet one, but the nice one though is how
Frank is very nice.
I got to tell you, Sue just asked me the age difference.
Yeah.
I said I'm 3 years old, and she said I thought he was older.
Oh, everybody says that. Everybody says, especially these days with the white beard. But yeah, everybody says it.
Sorry,
I'll let it go. I'll let it go.
Threw her under the
You can
bus.
see the tire marks on her back.
It's true. Yeah, he really had no problem just kind of doing that to you.
Yeah. So you guys were at Warehouse last night, Amityville?
Yeah.
Ah, my daughter works there. She wasn't there last night, though. Now I'm going to, when I get home and see her, why didn't you tell me these guys were coming?
Yeah, it was packed. It was really packed. It was like a packed weekend night.
Do you what's so? I mean, I was joking when I talked about pushing Bonder aside, but when you have two keyboard players and you get some special guests, does that change the set list up, or do you? Or does it allow you to play stuff you don't normally play because you have a few? Well, yeah, true.
We go straight into the ground like a dart. No, actually, I'm sorry. Yeah,
long dart.
I said, what can you two guys do together, Mark and Chris? And they were like, we'll figure it out. And they did.
Yeah.
They did.
Well, I mean, we've played together so much that we have A, experience together, and B, kind of a collective database of things. And plus, Mark's great. He's so musical, and he plays great, and he has big ears, hears everything and stuff. So so he'll hear me stepping on him and things of that nature.
Well off each other.
Oh yeah.
Well, he was just here about a month ago.
Yeah.
He's great.
So maybe one guy will be playing the piano and the other guy will be playing the strings or the horns or something.
Right. There's no
or Hammond feel or something. Right.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Right.
What songs were? What were some of the songs on the set list last night? How much of Tommy did you play?
Zero.
Zero Tommy.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah.
How much McCartney did you play?
Did we play any?
We did the one thing that Rich sang. Very little Beatles or Beatles adjacent.
Oh, really?
Material, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it doesn't mean like on another night, but we always change our set list.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
on another night, there might be a whole lot of that.
Right.
But not last night.
opened with
There
that
was definitely some Yes. There was some Who.
Nice.
Yeah.
In fact, there was a really
Very rare Who.
We invited Richie Naso up on the stage, and Dave Clark, good bass player, and did Heaven and Hell.
Oh, wow.
Which Chris, by the way, Chris also played in the John Entwistle band.
Ah,
He played
very
in the John
nice.
Entwistle band. So you used to play that with him.
Yeah. We will occasionally open with it, but I mean,
With Godfrey and
with Godfrey and Steve
Longo,
Longo,
right?
yeah.
Absolutely. Good band. Are you on the live album?
Left for Live is Gordon Cotton.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
But later, I think Steve released some additional material, and I think I might be lurking somewhere.
Oh, yeah, you're on it. He was the last 3 years of the Entwistle band, and then John left us.
Yeah, true. Which I'm always blown away how fast time goes. Like he's already been gone over 20 years.
No.
Yeah, right. 2002.
2002.
Two.
Yeah,
It does not seem like it.
Yeah, no, it's
nuts.
crazy.
That's nuts.
It's going to
really
be 23 years in July or August or something.
Something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like I remember just like hearing it on the radio.
Yeah, right. That's what I mean. It's amazing how fast it all goes. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So 31 years of Wonder Stories, right?
Yeah.
That's something too.
Yeah, 31.
Do you mind if I tell the story of how I know it was January 27th, 1994? And the reason why I know exactly the date is because 5.5 years ago, I was just thinking at home, and I said, I used to have one of those video cameras that held the VHS
Yeah,
tape
the whole
in it.
tape.
Yeah, the whole
Yeah.
tape.
Uh-huh.
And, it's
Aren't they ancient?
Show that to the kids today. What is that?
Yeah,
right.
What is that thing? Yeah.
It's not a phone.
But anyway, so I said to myself, I know I videotaped the band a couple of times, and then it just like 25 years later, I said, I think I gave it to Mike Bellucci. So I call up Mike Bellucci. I said, Mike, I taped the band a long time ago, and I can't find the tapes for the life of me. I think I gave them to you. He goes, I'll call you back later. Yep, I got them. I went, what? So he gives it to me 25 years later.
Wow.
I'm putting on the tapes, and it's, it used to have the date right on the tape,
Right.
It said January 27th, 1994.
Wow.
And I'm there. I'm like, thanks for coming down on this cold and snowy night. I'm surprised you're even here. And by the way, from tonight on forward, we call ourselves Wondrous Stories. And I went, I got the first Wondrous
Wow.
Stories gig on video.
That's wild.
So,
Yeah.
so
Very
and I got the second one too. So the first two.
Wow.
And in fact, I had pulled off a clip that I thought was kind of cool. We did an early Genesis song from the first Phil Collins singing Genesis album.
Trick of the Tail.
Trick of the Tail.
Yeah.
And we did Entangled that night.
Nice.
Yeah.
And it was pretty good. I mean, we were actually singing,
Yeah.
three of us in tune, me, Kevin, and Chris. And so I played that last night on the thing.
Oh, that's
for
cool.
our anniversary,
Yeah.
from the very first gig. So that's how I know.
What made you pick that name? I mean, of course I know the song, but is that like your favorite Yes song? Like what made you pick that title?
Did I pick? Did you
You
pick
picked
it? I did. Okay. Wow, you remember. I just thought it was a nice name.
Oh, okay.
You know, Wondrous Stories. You know.
Yeah, sure.
We're telling stories with music. I don't know.
I find it interesting that you, and I'm assuming it's you. I'm giving you the credit. But you seem to get like all the guys that have coming in and out of the band. They're all top notch guys that go on to play with major acts. Like. Is that like a conscious thing where you like? I just want the best, or is it just kind of some kind of weird coincidence that you've been getting all these guys?
To hide my flaws. So let these guys do the heavy lifting. No, if they
it's just worked out that way.
If they say yes, I'm gonna say cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
like it wasn't like a conscious thing. Oh, this guy plays with the Hooters. Let me get that guy. Like it wasn't like that. You just
no. Tommy Williams actually found us. Through Adam Snyder.
Oh, right.
Adam Snyder brought him down.
Yeah.
Tommy Williams from Wondrous Stories used to play with Debbie Gibson. Now he plays with the band The Hooter. But no, he came down, and I remember him in the audience, and he's just looking at the material we're playing, because we didn't play by any of the rules.
Right.
The rules for like a local cover band is to play all the hits of the day or play like really popular songs from, Brown Eyed Girl. I mean, how many times were we asked to play
Sure.
that? So,
Sure.
And,
and Joel the Chestnuts. Yeah.
my theory was we play our favorite songs. We don't play your favorite songs.
Right.
We play our favorite songs, and hopefully you'll like it.
But you guys but because of that, at least from the outside looking in, it seems like you guys just kind of hit the gate running because of that. Like I remember back in the '90s hearing, "Hey, there's this band out there that plays the whole Tommy album." I'm like, "Well, you got to be kidding me!" Like that was like a big deal back then.
Nobody was doing full albums back then.
No,
they really weren't.
No, I mean now it's become a bit of a vogue, but
right.
But no, that's true. Look, entire albums were comparatively rare.
But the albums that you were playing too, or even the bands, like you said, people were playing the hits of the day, the big bands of the day. You weren't getting a lot of bands playing Who and Yes and Genesis in one concert.
I don't want to sound stupid and
I do that every day.
I get somebody mad at me, but I met Rich Pagano, who used to play with Tommy Williams a bit, and it was about 1 or 2 years into the Fab Four. I met him at Madison Square Garden. He knew where I was. He was sitting like right next to me. We were at some concert. I forgot what concert we were at. But he goes, "Hey, how you doing?" I said, "Good." I said, "How's the Fab Four doing?" He goes, "We're doing great, man. We're getting like a lot of popularity, like fast." And I said, "Our band is going to play the whole Sgt. Pepper album." And he goes, "The whole thing, like from beginning to end, and
that would
like
be full album,
in
yes.
order?" And I said, "Yeah, we're going to do that." And he went, "Wow." 2 weeks later, I see in the Village Voice, Fab Four playing the entire Abbey Road album.
Wow.
I swear to God, that is a true story.
That's right.
Yeah.
Forget Fab Four. You get it here first with Wondrous Stories. Forget Will Lee. You can see Kenny Forgione.
Right.
Okay, enough about me. What do you think of me?
No, but I'm curious now. Let's go back to childhood. What made you guys say, you know what, I want to be a musician? What were you following as kids growing up, or your first concert that said, I'm going to do that, or I want to do that?
Since it's my birthday, I'll go first.
Okay.
Since I'm older. No, I just
seniority.
When
first.
I was a kid, the first thing I remember was hearing the Four Seasons on the radio. I loved that. I mean, I loved the Four Seasons music. And then the Beatles came like right after that, and then they took over. But I still like the Four Seasons. But me, I never had any lessons or anything. When I was a teenager, like about 16, 17 years old, I said, I love to sing, so I just learned to accompany myself. I picked up guitar and I started learning chords from books and stuff like that. But that's, I just felt like it came as a natural thing to me.
Me? I think, like a lot of people, I was a Beatles baby.
Were you?
Yeah, sort of. Cause I remember I heard, actually, I started on the drums, and because I saw the Beatles, and the first thing was Ringo was the person who caught my eye, and I think the drums seemed really cool. And I got, my parents were nice enough to get me one of those sets with they looked nice, but they had paper heads.
So you break them after 2 shots.
Yeah, you're right. You're about 7 minutes in, you're like, you're good to go.
Right.
And so I remember, I remember liking that, like quite a bit, but I also remember, like, musically, my household was really, kudos to my parents, very incredibly eclectic. I remember a very short period of time hearing, no joke, like Rossini, William Tell Overture, Max Roach, and like, and like the Beatles and everything else. So I mean, it was so that explains in a way why I'm sort of like even to this day kind of all over the place. Because
That's right. You had a mix of music going on in your
and also kind of like deciding what I was going to do, because I remember I went through. I briefly went through a phase where I felt like, Schroeder's right. I'm just going to like play some classical stuff. You know what I mean? But then again, I still wanted to play. Like, I was still interested in the drums at the time. I mean, eventually I had to make a decision, because I didn't. For me, some people are very happy in the multi-instrumentalist role. I mean, I'm not. I chose to be a little more focused, just because I had,
You have a natural gift. I mean, it's this guy has a natural gift.
Yeah.
I remember your mom telling me one time. You said, "Stop, Mom." And your mom told me, she goes, there's 16 pages of Rhapsody in Blue, musical pages. He can play the whole thing by memory or something.
Oh,
Your
wow.
mom said that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's good. I mean, it's good to be able to memorize. It's good. I mean, although you see, there's a YouTube video of like famous world-class pianists playing with music in front of them. So, I mean, typically you have it memorized, but you're not. But yeah, I have a decent memory.
It does seem more and more these days. You see the iPad in front of the musicians.
Yeah.
You do.
As long as it sounds good, though, I don't. But that explains a lot of your background, I guess. Playing with bands like Brand X and John Anderson, like that explains, appreciating all that different types of music, because not anybody, can get into all that stuff.
Right.
That makes sense.
Well, I gotta say, he's played with people that they're like my 3 favorite. Like, he plays with John Anderson of Yes now. I've always loved Yes since they came out. He played with John Entwistle. The Who were always one of my favorite bands.
Me too.
And they played with Brand X, who is connected to Phil Collins.
Right.
And
Tree. Yeah.
Phil Collins is like...
Phil is,
Oh, by the way,
Titan.
It's his birthday
I
today,
share
too.
the birthday with Phil Collins.
Oh, is it? It's his birthday too?
Today's
Oh,
Phil
I didn't know that.
Collins.
Wow.
And Gene,
Right, I didn't know that.
And Gene Hackman. And,
Wow.
And Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
Wow, that's a pretty good list right
That's a good
there.
list, yeah.
That's amazing.
It's better than Hitler.
Well, I share a birthday with Saddam Hussein. So, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I've got Lee Harvey Oswald.
Oh, wow.
I got Stephen Stills
Oh, do you?
and Mel Gibson. Yes.
Oh, it's not a bad list.
Yeah.
That's good. That's cool.
I have Drew Carey and Jewel.
Drew Carey and Jewel.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know who exactly on the 19th, but I know who I'm relatively close to. I think I'm about 2 or 3 days away from like Andrew Lloyd Webber and Carl Palmer.
Oh,
Nice.
Not a bad list.
That's
yeah.
it.
We're featuring Carl Palmer. Take it away, Carl.
That's awesome.
No, so he's played with people that I relate to totally. And I remember Brand X too. I bought one of their albums in the 70s.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I had one or two myself. Yeah.
Yeah, I
absolutely.
remember when I was in college, my friends were in the basement. Someone comes down and goes, I got this new record, and it's like Phil's on it. So that was like the selling point.
Yeah.
Like great. It's like, what is it, Genesis? No, it's something else. and
you went, whoa.
And we put it on. The first song, like what? Like, oh my God, this is crazy. It was amazing. I mean, unorthodox behavior.
Great record. It's I think we were talking about it recently, that new special that came out just before Christmas of the documentary of the Do They Know It's Christmas recording, the original.
Yeah.
And they show a clip of Phil just recording his drum
Phil
parts.
tracking.
You don't hear anything except his drum.
And ISO.
Oh my goodness, what a groove that guy has. And you see the other musicians just kind of standing there in awe.
Right.
It's amazing. He doesn't get enough credit for his drumming.
No, I agree.
Yeah. And that new special sucks.
Oh, the Drumeo special.
Yeah, it sucks. Sorry, but it
I
does.
see that.
Oh, it's terrible.
It could be a little more. I mean, it was well-meaning because they wanted to say, like, Phil is a drummer, who can do these other things, but he's a drummer first.
But they don't play a single beat of his drumming. They don't play any of it. There's none of it. And then the whole special is his son. I don't know how to put this together. Phil, what was it like to play on that? I don't remember. Okay, that's the whole special in 5 seconds.
It could have been like, I would have appreciated a few more Phil Chester duets or something.
Exactly.
Or, or kind of like, maybe be able to scare up some ISOs of him playing like What Gorilla or,
Right. He must have sold his rights off because they didn't play a single note of any of his music. Even the pictures they didn't show any of his videos. Even the pictures they showed were like audience shots. Like, what is this? I was mad. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was mad.
I love Phil Collins. He's one of my all-time favorites. So yeah,
absolutely.
I'm with you.
So again, with like I asked before, you get these tremendous players in the band who play with all these other bigger.
Steve Holley.
Right, yeah. Steve Holley, and then even yourself. I know you've been on Joey Mollin's albums. Like, is it just? Do these guys find you guys like? Do they watch Wondrous Stories and then like, oh, these guys are great players? Like, how'd you guys end up playing with these bigger names?
We started doing the concert for Bangladesh, and Tommy plays with Eric Bazillion of the Hooters.
Right.
He was like really our first guest on the very first time we did it. We did it 11 times.
Right.
Had all sorts of guests. I met Steve Holley through Arno Hecht.
Right.
And so Steve came down and saw the band.
Oh, and there he is.
Said, I got to tell Denny Lane about this. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Good morning, Mr. Holley, sir. How are you?
Good morning, Tony. How are you?
The question is, how are you? You feeling all right?
Oh, well, I think I'm okay.
Yeah, okay. Happy to hear it. I heard, last night, unfortunately, had to get cut short for you because you weren't feeling well.
Yeah, I all of a sudden I got that kind of feeling, and we drove home. I just, sorry about that.
No, it's great. Well, we're just happy to have you, and we're glad you're feeling good. And hope you rest up. And I understand. Everybody's talking about Kenny today on his birthday. I understand you want to get away from him on a day like today. I get it.
He's doing last minute shopping for a birthday present. That's why
do you think that
is? Yeah, just one of those things. It's that time of the year, I guess, and it goes around. And I thought I was in the clear, and all of a sudden I just got woozy and lightheaded, and thought I got to get home. So that's what happened.
And I'm sure there were plenty of days, back in the 70s where that was the norm. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
For the 60s, for that matter.
Yeah, it's a very distant memory, but I think you're right. Yeah.
How does somebody of Steve Holley's stature end up? Like, how did you discover Wondrous Stories? How did you get involved with these guys?
I guess a bunch of people kept telling me about how great it was. I can't remember specifically. And how did we bump into each other? I don't know. I can't remember if I just came by or somebody invited us. Or
Arno Hecht.
Arno. Was it Arno's fault? Okay. I'll be calling him right after we get finished.
That's
great. Arno, of course, Uptown Horns, and just that's exactly. I guess I was doing a bunch of shows with him and Crispin Seo, and I think they mentioned You and Wondrous Stories. That's exactly what it was. It seems like a long time ago now. I don't think it was that long, though, realistically. But any idea, Kelly? How long have we known each other now?
About 16 years.
Oh, very nice.
16 years. Okay. That's that.
And it must have been. I mean, I'm sure you probably get it. I'm sure people come to you guys, all the time and say you got to hear this, or have you heard this band? So, I guess, does it help that somebody like Arno Heck says you got to hear this? Like, if Arno Heck says they're good, they must be something special, Or
that's very true. Word of mouth. The whole Bangladesh show. That's exactly what it was. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Ken was just mentioning that before you called. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just it's amazing. I never get tired of seeing the band. They're just. I mean, every single person in the band is phenomenal in their own right, and it's just incredible blend of musicianship. And we always have a blast. It's amazing. But yeah, definitely one of my favorite bands in the world. There you go.
Nice. Wow. Kenny he still owes you $10 for saying that. And I guess
I thought it was 20, Kenny.
And then I guess because your time with McCartney was relatively, it wasn't really that long, but I guess because of that, then you because of things like Beatlefest and whatnot, you get to meet bands like Wondrous Stories and other musicians, and that kind of does that lead to other gigs as well, because that time with McCartney and then meeting up with these other types of musicians?
Well, I mean, possibly. I don't really think about it. I go with the motion. I mean, the way I met McCartney was strange in a sense. Denny Lane just happened to buy a house in the village I grew up in, and we met casually. And I remember him saying, "What do you do?" And I said, "Well, I play drums." And he was like, "Well, I'm having a housewarming party on Friday. Why don't you come by?" And it's a story I've told many times, but I was doing pretty well anyway. My own band, when we were very young, sort of 16, started turning a few heads, and we had great personnel and an interesting sound. And we were picked up by a gentleman called Max Hull, who is now head of, I don't know, just about everything in the world, as far as I can understand. Incredible manager. And when we had a great band, and we were doing really well. And the piano player happened to be Bias Michelle, who played with Kiki D. I ended up being stolen to do her album, which was produced by Elton John, of all people. So I caught their attention very early on, and then Elton invited me to do his album. And then right about the same time was when Denny moved into our neighborhood, and I got invited to the party, and Denny said to come early. And I stopped by at about 5 in the afternoon, and I could hear music, and the front door was open, and I sort of followed the music and opened the door. And to my amazement, there was Linda McCartney sitting at the piano, Paul playing bass, Denny playing guitar, and the drum kit with nobody behind it. And I just sort of motioned to the drums, and Denny sort of shrugged his shoulders and said, I don't know, and I sat down and started playing. And it was just great fun, and we were playing rockabilly and pop, all kinds of stuff for about an hour, and then people started arriving, and he got a little more uncomfortable, and he left, and I got the call the next day. So it's just circumstance. And then I guess when I eventually came over here, I'm just trying to figure out when we met about 10 years ago, and it just, to me, that music was so important, and to hear it played so well again was just great. I was a huge Beatles fan. Beatles and the Shadows growing up,
Oh, nice.
Absolutely.
Hey, Steve, you were with Paul for about 3 years, weren't you?
It was about 4 from start to finish.
4. That's a long time.
Yeah, 78, 81 around there, right?
Yeah, 81 was when it all started to come unglued, and just prior to 78 when we, 3.5, 4 years, something like that. Relatively short period of time. But, we're still, I mean, we're not like, we don't hang out all the time, but we're still friends. And, you know, and it's just a fabulous time.
He's a workhorse, right? He's a workhorse.
Yeah, I would say that. Definitely.
We could almost say that about you. I mean, the list of people that you've played with. I mean, it's never ending.
Yeah. It's just what happens. You just go along, and yeah.
Is that is that all circumstance too, where you just get a call, or you meet people at a party, or are you just constantly hustling trying to get a gig?
I don't hustle. No,
really?
I don't really do. No, you know, it's much. I think it's just word of mouth. Situations arise.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
Yeah, I don't go out of my way looking for things particularly. They seem to fall in my lap, and I just, you know, I love what I do, and you know, I'm not sure. I don't know. Just people call out of the blue and say, if you feel like doing, and I say, yeah, fine, sounds good, and whatever. Send me the tunes or whatever it is, you know. That's just, it just seems to bounce from one thing to the other. But I pretty much stay friends with everyone I've worked with. I remember when I was working with Elton before I got the job. That was sticky because he was actually not happy at all. That I was just wrapping up his album when I got the call to work with McCartney, and that was a very hard decision. But I knew in the back of my head that because he'd had some kind of grievance with Nigel Olsson was the right drummer for Elton John, not me.
Right.
And you know, as much as I would have loved to have continued, I just in my heart of hearts I knew that was the wrong way to go, and at some point he would regret it, and he would rather be with Nigel, and that is exactly how it played out, and as it should have been. And you know, I was a huge fan of Nigel's anyway, so I felt awkward in the first place.
Yeah, I bet. So when the time with McCartney ended, did Elton call you up, say, "Ha, I told you"? No, I'm kidding.
Did things thaw out with Elton? Was he obviously? I mean, he had a great drummer after that. How were you guys after that? Was it?
Sorry, what was that again?
Did Elton kind of, you know, thaw his feelings out because he was a little upset? You were saying, did you guys come to you know, terms?
Yeah. No, it's great now. You know, it was a long time before we saw each other again. It was in San Francisco many years later, and we didn't speak. And I thought, well, I'm sure he doesn't hold a grudge, but you never really know. I don't know him, you know, well enough to know how he felt. But we did meet again in San Francisco. I don't know how long ago that was. I haven't seen him since, but he came to the center of the stage. I had front row seats, and I'm sitting there trying to hide, and it was impossible. And he just nodded to me, and then one of their tour managers came up and grabbed me at the end of the show before the encore, and we had a hug, and that was the last time I saw him. That's years and years and years ago. So we've had no contact since, but there's no, you know, he gave me a big hug, and we just carry on, and we're great friends. And I stayed in touch with Kiki D for a while because our band was, you know, that's all just how it came around. But I don't know what happens. You just bounce around. I met a guitar player in New York City, Phil Grande, and we met a couple of times, and because of him, and I ended up, you know, being introduced to Joe Cocker, and that I went out on the road for 4 years with Joe Cocker. I mean, I didn't expect that really, and all that was going on while I was still working with Ian Hunter, who I'd worked with longer than anybody on the planet. So
right, yeah.
So I don't know how or why these things happen, but they did, and I'm very grateful.
Oh, I'm sure.
Hey, Tony.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if you know that Steve played on like one of the greatest concerts ever. The concerts for the people of Kampuchea.
Yep, and that's actually on that disc I gave you.
Oh, okay. You know, with the Queen, the Who, Ian Jury, and the Blockheads, the Pretenders, Paul McCartney. I can't remember who else, but
Rockpile.
Rockpile. Okay.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, to talk about the time with McCartney, but yeah, to play on stuff like that. I mean, I would think it opened doors, but yeah, that. I mean, it's crazy to be on, like, just to play with McCartney in general, but then to be on something like Rockestra, which Townsend was on that, and John Bonham, right?
Yeah.
I mean, do you have some? Do you pinch yourself sometimes?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. And you just, I'm not sure. It just, on reflection, there's a lot of water under the bridge now. I honestly don't know how or why any of this happened. It just,
Because you're a great freaking drummer. That's why.
Absolutely. Yeah, great.
I don't know. I share that with a lot of people. I walk into the bitter end and I see fantastic drummers. I walk into places all over. I mean, it's great. I don't know if that's it. It's not quite that simple, I don't think. There's a sort of, I think you have to know how to get along with people.
Sure.
And, not everybody has that ability, and some people are abrasive, some people are argumentative. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I feel very blessed and very lucky. That's all I can say. And
I do agree with you. I mean, Frank, my brother, is a musician. I'm in the comedy world, and I do see a lot of similarities. And I do feel that, I don't just do stand up. I do a lot of theater and whatnot too. And it's the same thing as a band. The cast have to have chemistry, and if you don't have that backstage chemistry, that then it then translates to the stage, then you're going to have problems. And I think that's the same with bands.
I think you're absolutely right. Mm-hmm. It sort of comes en masse. That's true, and there's times when I can remember situations, nothing specific, but when I felt awkward or felt that we weren't doing the right thing, and I didn't voice my opinion, and very often it would sort of work out that way when everyone suddenly says, that was a really dumb idea. But you're working with people of such magnitude that I didn't really say anything when I felt that in the early days. Now I'm more likely to blurt it out, but I think I trod very carefully because I didn't have enough experience. Both my parents were musicians, and so I watched what they did, and I understand how much goes into it before. I remember my mother, a great singer. She was nervous before every single show. It never changed. I mean, and then as soon as she stepped on stage, she was as comfortable as at least appeared that way.
Sure.
And my father too, and my father, bless him, is still doing it, which is amazing.
Oh no! Oh wow.
Yeah. And we spent a month together in the UK. Like, he lives in Australia, but he's still playing. He still plays his tenor sax and clarinet in the orchestra, and he's having a ball. It's remarkable.
It's amazing. I was going to ask that. Yeah. 90s.
My dad just turned 90. Yeah.
Wow. God bless him. That's great.
Last July. Yeah. And we look like brothers.
Yeah.
So Steve, I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, I was going to say, this is Jeff, Tony's co-host. What is the day in the life of your downtime? What's Steve Holly doing his downtime?
What do we do? Well, we like walking in the park, walking on the beach, depending on the time of year, of course. And we just talk a lot. My darling and I, we just we can't really get enough of each other, and it's been
nice.
It's been like that for 15 years.
Good answer.
And,
wow.
And we met a long time ago, but we weren't able to be together for one reason or another. Mm-hmm. And life has a habit of coming round, and that's just the way it is. So we enjoy each other's company. And that's enough, to be honest. At this stage of the game, it's quite wonderful.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
That's
hey, Steve, you're very modest, saying there are a lot of good drummers around, and there are. But
there sure are.
But when you would have never been in any of these bands if you weren't good. You're very good, and you're
No, it was always about my looks. It had absolutely.
Isn't that Ringo?
We got
Ringo guy
to
in the
have
Beatles?
that guy in the band. Look at it.
Yeah, all the
he
guys.
He can't play for this crappy drummer, but he looks perfect. So let's get him.
We'll take him.
I tell you, all the guys think you're gorgeous, Steve. But when I turn around and see the way you hit, I mean, you're different, and you got a lot of style, and there's a reason why you played with all these people. There's no doubt in
Agreed.
my mind.
Absolutely.
Well, I appreciate that little vote of confidence. It's lovely. I really truly consider it a blessing to, and I have friends that struggle with dreams and stuff, and I feel so blessed and so lucky to have been in that position. I honestly don't know how or why any of this happens. It's just remarkably good luck, I suppose. I mean, and the other thing is that I approach everything with the same kind of demeanor and apply myself to it doesn't matter what it is. It's if I'm playing with friends at the bitter end on Bleecker Street, or I'm playing at Carnegie Hall, I walk onto the stage with the same concept, and that's to play as well as possible and to deliver what the music needs. And it doesn't change for me. I actually played with a bunch of friends from Sean Fleming from Killarney in Ireland, for I think it's approaching 40 years now, and it's just the band has this amazing chemistry, and it's just it would be almost impossible for anybody else to do it. I know from the note, if he changes a chord, I know where it's going, what song it's going to. We're cutting something short. It's seamless and effortless after this amount of time, and that is an incredibly comfortable place to be. And I try very, very hard not to miss any of his shows, and remarkably managed to keep doing most of them. That's been my longest association in my life.
Wow.
And a very small percentage of people would know who Sean Fleming and the Sean Fleming Band is, but the ones that do have a blast, and they enjoy themselves whenever we play. So, I mean, that's kind of like the dual position in this business. It's like you can be with a number one act like McCartney, and then I can be with a number one act in Philadelphia with the Sean Fleming Band, for example. It's just, and I approach everything with the same kind of I don't know what it is. It's just I play no differently with anybody. It doesn't depend on the situation. I'm trying to make everything as good as it can be all the time for myself or for everybody else. So,
hey Steve, you know what I got for my birthday from Tony Walker? Wings live, December 12th, 1979, Glasgow, Scotland, bootleg copy.
Oh wow! So is that a bootleg or is that an official release?
No, it's bootleg. So if you want $20 for it, I'll give it to you.
Wow.
Do you have copies of stuff like that?
No.
Really?
Not really. I've got a few bits and pieces that people have sent me over the years in email and stuff. But I don't know what's out there.
Wow. Oh, that's interesting. There's also I don't know if you have it or you have it. I have it at home. There's 1981. There's Wings rehearsals. They're what became Paul McCartney's Tug of War album. It's him rehearsing that stuff with Wings before he broke them up. Yeah. Oh yeah. Perfect quality stuff too.
That's Steve on it too. Is
Yeah.
it video? Okay.
No, just audio. Yeah.
Audio. Yeah.
Yeah. Steve and Lawrence and Denny. Yeah. The final Wings lineup. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't.
I wanted to ask, and we'll let you go in a second. I appreciate the time today.
Not at all.
The first time I ever saw you was when you were playing with Joe Cocker and talking about a band with chemistry and whatnot. The opening act was the Neville Brothers. It was.
Yeah.
I mean, I was blown away at how good that band was. Those guys were amazing. Do you have any
Incredible.
memories of that, or even yourself at that point? You've been playing around for 20, 25 years at that point. Do you watch a band like the Neville Brothers and learn anything from that, or do you have any memories of playing with those guys?
Absolutely. And we also did a long tour with Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Oh wow!
Man. And we would switch. It was quite funny actually. We would flip flop the headline because he was huge at that point as well as Joe, and Joe figured out one of the things that happened was the volume that we played at. A lot of the gigs had they had decibel readings, and that if you went over that volume, there was a fine that you had to pay at the venue.
Yeah, the Who were
be
famous
inside
for
or-
that. They would break those decibels.
You remember that thing? And Joe found out. Joe found out that what the situation was, but it didn't really matter, And we were flip flopping the headline, but Joe figured out that whoever played had to pay, but the fine was like $5,000 or something. It wasn't insignificant. It was quite a chunk of money.
Yeah.
And I saw Joe actually talking to Stevie Ray one night, and because he only gets paid once, and he goes, Stevie, I'm not feeling so good tonight. My throat's hurt. Would you mind switching? Would you mind playing opening tonight? I need a little time to nurse my throat. And Stevie was, okay, fine, and you see this whole thing, and he goes out and they go 2, 3, 4, boom, and the first note, one of the roadie would just put an envelope behind his head with the $5,000 in cash, and they take the money. So when Joe saw this happening, he would fake not feeling well, so that Stevie got to pay more than we did.
That's great.
Stupid things like that would happen, and you look at it and you go, "Oh, this is hysterical."
I love stories like that. That's great. All
That
right.
was a huge loss too, but there you go.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Hey, Steve, I have one question to ask you, and it's not music
Yes,
related
sir.
whatsoever. Not music related. I have a lot of friends over in the UK. I travel over there quite often to see them and hang out from time to time, and we have a little thing between each other. You being from the UK, who is the football team you support?
Well, I actually have become pretty fond of the northern teams, and I used to when I was a teenager. West Ham was my team, and I still enjoy watching them play. But then I got very keen on Liverpool.
There you go. Yes, yeah, I have a big giant Liverpool on my rib cage actually.
And of course, they had two teams, Liverpool
Everton.
and Everton.
Yeah, no,
and,
we can't. We don't talk about the blue. Right?
Yeah.
I have to ask all of my English friends that who's you supporting, and I'm a big Liverpool guy myself. Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
All right. Well, Steve Holly, we appreciate the time today, and I just want to let you know, even though you're not here for Kenny's birthday, don't think you're getting out of getting him a gift.
No,
He already did.
He did? Yeah.
I'm aware of that. We actually do have something.
Put
we left it
pressure
with
on.
Sue. You'll have to ask Sue.
Oh, Sue's in on it. Very
Well,
nice.
she has.
She's in on it.
I
Yeah,
didn't get to open
we
it
left,
yet. I got home late.
We left it
last night.
behind, didn't we?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He hasn't
Very
opened
nice.
his presents yet.
Oh, all right. Very nice.
It's one of those toys. Hours of endless fun.
Wow, that's a whole different show.
Yeah.
All right. Steve Holly, we really appreciate the time, and when you're feeling up to it, maybe we'll get you to come in with us one day and hang out.
We'll do that, Tony. Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you, Kevin.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, Steve. We really appreciate it. Feel better, my friend.
See you later,
And
Steve.
just before you sign off, with just one thing we'd like to share with you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Kenny. Happy birthday to you.
Well done.
Thank God you're a drummer.
Wow.
Actually,
Wow.
no, I gotta say, Steve, before he hangs up, he's got a great solo album, and he sings
yes.
on it. He's a great singer.
Yes.
He sang "She's Leaving Home" with us.
Oh, yeah?
At one of our Bangladesh concerts.
Very nice.
He can sing.
Yeah.
He can sing.
All right. Yeah, we'll have to go find the album then.
Thanks for that, Stephen Marie Claire.
Yeah.
You're
welcome. Have a great day.
He's got a lovely
You
wife.
too, buddy. Thank you very much.
Bye, Steve. Yeah, sorry I had to take off early last night. I was just, but anyway, we'll catch up soon.
You got it.
Thanks again, Steve.
All right. Bye,
Cheers,
Steve.
bud.
All right, loads of love. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Very nice. Steve Holly, formerly of Paul McCartney and Wings and a bunch of other bands, checking in. Very nice. All right, what I haven't done yet today, I haven't read any comments coming in, so I'm going back almost to the beginning. John Rusiello, who watches the show every day. Good morning, Kenny Forgione, a true legend, he says.
Oh.
How do you like that? Let's see. And Rothney in California is watching. She says hello. Joe Lopes.
Yep.
Oh.
Hi, Kenny, Sue, and Chris from Joey Snopes. Happy birthday,
Joey
Kenny.
Snopes.
Great show last night, he says. Okay. Funeral for a Friend with 2 keyboards. Did you guys do that last night?
Yes, we did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was cool.
What a great
First
tune.
song.
That is great.
Oh, that's what they opened with?
That's the open with.
Yeah.
Wow, very nice. William Mays, great show, Kenny. Happy birthday. You know Willie Mays?
I do. I
That's
know
amazing.
Willie Mays, and he's got a picture of him and Willie Mays when he was a kid.
Oh, is that right?
That's
That's
awesome.
funny.
Wow.
And
That's
Willie
awesome.
Mays is a great guy.
Wow, very nice. Okay.
I call him Bill.
You call him Bill?
Yeah, but Willie is, if you want to make the reference.
Yeah, I'm sure he's never heard that before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, let me ask Chris, how'd you get the gig with John?
Actually, kind of, just extremely dumb luck. I mean, if you want to trace it back, actually, indirectly, the musical director for the John and the Banking show is Richie Castellano, and
Okay.
he has a very successful podcast that he's run for the last 10 years now. It's called called the Band Geek Podcast.
Oh,
And,
okay.
And he Richie, if you don't know, is his regular gig is Blue Oyster Cult. He plays guitar and keyboards, and he's wonderful. He's very talented. He's very multifaceted. I mean, and he has access to a lot of like a lot of musicians, but primarily from Staten Island, but really from all over. And the podcast consists of like him assembling his friends, picking a song, everybody doing their homework, getting together and playing the song and making a video of it.
Oh, that's cool.
And they've gotten a reputation for like doing kind of a mixed bag. I mean, it could be anything. It could be hard. It could be it could be Foreigner. It could be could be ELP. It could be and they're all big Yes fans. So I've always I noticed them about probably 7 years ago or so. Because they started doing they did really good covers of covers, really very, very detailed versions of South Side of the Sky, for example, and with Tom Brislin, who actually is Yes alumni, who's a brilliant keyboard player, who I saw in 2001. If you have that DVD Yes Symphonic, it's wonderful.
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah, you just watch Tom. It's a masterclass. He just
Okay.
absolutely owns on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I met Richie, strangely enough, just parenthetically, I met him on a gig we were doing. It was a symphonic tribute to Queen, strangely enough.
Nice.
Which was a lot of fun. The arrangements were very nice and it was good. And he was part of the, the Brian May, ensemble. You have to have 2 guitars,
at least.
At least, of course. And I met him, I saw him, and I had already seen the Banking Project. So when I see him, I start getting levels and stuff, and I can't help myself. I kind of start breaking his chops. So I start playing Southside, and he kind of looks at me and he's like, do you know this stuff? And I was like, yeah, kind of do.
Yeah.
And he said, "Would you like to do a Band Geek podcast?" I said, "Yeah, great, great. We'll do some yes, yeah, okay." I'm thinking, okay, we'll get our feet wet. We'll do does it really happen, or we'll do, for like if I get, maybe I wanted to do Machine Messiah, I wanted to do something like out of the box. Well, what do you want to do? We want to do Close to the Edge. Okay. I said, well, you know what? Can I get my feet wet? Yeah, hang on. And Richie's like, oh yeah, I'll ask some of my friends. No. We're doing Close to the Edge, and I was okay. So I had to put my head down and get everything tidy and get it ready. We did a video, and it did reasonably well. We were reasonably successful, with the result, and I guess somewhere along the line it got passed into the hands of John Anderson, and who in turn called Richie Castellano and actually said I'm interested in doing a tour. So that's literally, thank you for being patient, the origin story, and
it's been a few years now at this point, right?
Yeah, we first we actually, the whole thing, just in terms of the agreement, started in late 2022.
Okay.
Because the first gig was April 14th, 2023. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just saw a live video, which sounded great. He sounds exactly the same.
He sounds
even better.
Yeah,
he sounds amazing.
Blown away.
He's absolutely singing his face off, which is astounding given his medical history.
Oh, is that right? Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, no, he has an issue at one point with asthma and stuff, but he.
Oh, that's right. That's how he ended up out of the band, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about it a little bit. You ever talked about that stuff? Like, what's with this band? These guys can't hold on to anybody. That band has been through so many people.
Well, yes, in a way, it's like Jethro Tull in that regard. In terms of the revolving door, but very specific things, like a lot of keyboard players.
Sure.
As opposed to not one drummer, one bass player. Like in Stone, that's but yes, is a lot of keyboard players. We're like, wow, if you actually catalog, think about it. Yeah, if you think Tony Kaye, Rick Wakeman, Patrick Moraz, Tom Brislin, Oliver Wakeman, Jeffrey Downs. It's a lot.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
If I can say, John Anderson and the Band Geeks are the best sounding Yes act in the world, with the original singer and Chris on keyboards, which is exactly what John Anderson needed. And of course that whole band is very, very excellent.
Are you like a proud uncle? All these guys that you play with, they move on, they go on to these tremendous things, and they're fantastic. And to have the voice of Yes, who sounds just as good as he ever has, really, it is amazing,
he has
right?
the talent to play with John Anderson.
Yeah.
I don't have that talent. John Anderson.
Well, don't sell yourself short, pal. Your resume isn't that bad either. Right.
But let's not forget though. John. I it's hard to prove, but I always felt that that I play music with John partly because John on some level knows that I'm kind of like a super fan. Right. As much as anybody in the audience, really.
Sure.
I'm the guy with the poster in my bedroom with Chris Squire in his backgammon suit and all that. Right. I'm that guy. And he knows that that I'm really jonesing to play this music. So I think look, let's be honest. This is New York City. You can't throw a baseball without hitting a fantastic keyboard player. It's like this is forget it. It's like they're like coat hangers. They're everywhere. So so I'm grateful for that. But I think that's what he wants. He wanted the pie. He wants to be on stage with Yes fans.
And you are.
Yeah. I am Yes fan.
The first time I met him, one of the first times I met him, I was at a party. And he was playing, and I was very into Yes at this time.
Oh, okay.
And I just said, out of the top of my head, can you play Perpetual Change? And he whipped it out.
Wow.
Right.
And then he played the song.
He played
the song. Is what
Nice. There's a family show.
Right.
That's how he played it. And that's talent right there.
Even right. You can't teach that.
Can I just say real quick too?
I knew you were going there too. I know you well.
Yeah.
Once he has whipped it out.
Yeah, that's all you got to do.
Too easy. Too easy.
That's if you care.
So early on, you guys were playing at the Yankee Peddler. One of the very first times I met you guys. At one point, you had me up to sing The Night Before. I don't know why I remember this, and the Beatles song, and it's not a very complicated. It's just a very basic keyboard part. So I'm singing away, and Chris, I don't even know if you remember this or not. We're playing the song, all of a sudden he'll just throw in a couple of like classically flavored things in the middle of it, and I was just like, I started laughing, so he started doing more, just to get me to go while I was singing. It was hysterical.
No, I mean, you kind of. I mean, Victor Borge.
Yeah, right.
Is an influence. I mean, there's no doubt.
Oh, that's a good influence, right there.
You know the upside down music.
Yeah. You saw him once, didn't you?
Victor Borge, yeah.
Got
to meet
Brilliant.
him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
True and so funny.
I remember him. I saw him open for Frank Sinatra, the one and only time I ever saw him with Frank at Radio City Music Hall, 1979 or 80. I forgot one of them. But anyway, he's playing this thing going, broom, broom, broom. He's going backwards, and he goes, oh. And he turns it on.
Right, and specifically, it's the William Tell Overture.
Yeah.
So he at first it's like huh? What?
That's really. Oh, and then Joe Lope says you. John Anderson and the Band Geeks. You guys have a show at Westbury in May?
Yes, May 16th.
Oh, very nice.
Ooh,
Might have to check that out.
We're going.
Hey,
check that out.
me too.
We're going with backstage passes.
Oh, check that out. You know a guy?
It depends on what actually. Well,
I'm kidding.
No, it's a lot of that stuff shakes out like much closer to the date, just based on like John's.
Everybody's going to be asking you.
I won't ask you for
I'll do
backstage
my due
passes.
diligence.
No. I'll just ask you to bring John Anderson in here.
Yeah.
They're going to be at next town over.
Right.
Yeah, so that must be a dream come true, huh?
It's
like I asked Steve. It must be the same thing. You're on stage with John Anderson, you're probably pinching yourself.
Yeah.
Shit. That's crazy.
Yeah. Oh no! It's something. It's something other than else. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
are you able to get to a point like to suggest stuff to John? I think it's better if it's this way, or it's not at that.
No, the arrangements are pretty much set. However, I will in sound checks. It's open season.
Yeah.
I have bombarded him with Turn of the Century more times than I can count.
Oh, I love that. I love that. That's
you know that.
Yeah, I know that. I know.
My favorite.
That's one of the great song from Going for the One, and it's like, and John's funny because he'll I'll play for him and he'll perk up and he'll really like that because he'll be like, oh yeah, I really like that. It's great. I'm like, John's gonna shoot. I'm fired. I just got fired.
That's great.
But it's kind of like it's sort of like he enjoyed hearing it, but it's like, but in terms of like what he wanted to play, if he wants to play something, John has a wish list.
Okay.
And we're pretty much playing his wish list,
Nice.
Something is so. I mean, I could always say I would bounce Turn to Be Over, Sound Chaser. I would try Madrigal. I would try anything, just to see if he would bite. Yeah, and he enjoyed it, but it was like nice playing music for John. There's nothing wrong with that. But
yeah, sure, sure.
The Band Geeks are great. I got to tell you, and I'm not putting John down or anything, but I was at a show and I saw, and John made an obvious flub, and the band looked at each other and they covered it like seamlessly. But I mean, I knew the song so well that I knew that.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't exactly right.
All right. Well, we were prepared for it
happens with anybody.
Yeah, we had to have the teleportation points to get to the to get it. But it's funny you mentioned that there was one show where we were we're doing Close to the Edge, and about 3/4 of the way too, there's a fairly prominent Hammond organ solo, and John inadvertently cuts me off halfway through it.
You let him have it after the show.
No, it's really funny. So it's kind of like you know, because and after the song, John comes up and goes, "Oh man, I'm really sorry." You know, I go. And I was like, John, it's all good, you know. But I remember thinking that I think it was more like, because initially he would be like, the inner dialogue would be something like, you know, he'd come over to me during the solo and be like, you know, yeah, it's good. Like he would like be kind of giving me like support and stuff, and that's great.
Yeah.
And then he would go cut me off. So I remember thinking, so the inner dialogue was that, you think you're hot shit, watch this, the time between the notes.
I like his Anderson impersonation, by the way.
Yes, it's spot on. It's awesome.
He sang yes with Wondrous Stories for years. I couldn't do it. Yeah, I was probably the
I can't do it.
lead singer. Yeah, but
it's tough.
He did it, and like we wouldn't have been able to play the Yes songs if he wasn't singing them.
Sure.
I couldn't do it. You know,
I was the necessary evil for the.
Now you're exactly where you're supposed to be, though.
His voice is surprises you at times. He wanted to sing Roger Daltrey last night. He was like gangbusters. He was ready to go.
I was saying, if you said you were, you know, we all need a hand every.
What would you have chosen?
Like
if you were doing do adult,
like the real me.
Oh, nice.
That's what Tommy usually says.
I know.
Yeah, but but
what a
that's
great
one
tune.
that you can growl out.
That whole album is amazing. Quadrophenia.
Quadrophenia is a masterpiece.
Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, speaking of that,
Yeah.
he played with John Entwistle for.
Well, yeah, we talked about that earlier. Yeah.
But you were mentioning about.
Stage volume.
Fines. You want to tell us? It's a funny story.
Oh yeah, if I'm telling you, we'll tell it. Okay, so the John Entwistle band were playing at a venue, also with very strict noise regulations. The guy with the decibel meter, the whole thing.
You probably had to play loud because Entwistle he was worse than Townsend towards the end of. He couldn't hear.
Oh no, Entwistle was louder than the majority of most bands. Routinely.
His rig was.
Yeah.
The wall.
I remember it was also funny because John had a very later in his career he really had a predilection for using a lot of processing on his bass. So to be checking and the front of house would be like, okay, John, let's hear your clean sound. Okay, thanks. Okay.
But the thing about the fine, you guys were going to get a fine.
Oh right. So the playing, the gig might have been outdoors. I'm not sure, but. They're I think they're checking and they're way over the line. They're like, you know, and I guess a local official comes up to John and goes, "Listen, you guys are way too loud. You know, if you don't stop, then we're gonna have to do the fine." John like, "How much is the fine?" You know, it's $500. And John was like, "Yeah, I'll take 2."
That was his sense of humor.
That's great. That's a great line. I like that.
Before Chris joined the band in 1999, Wondrous Stories, Godfrey Townsend had us open up for the John Entwistle band.
Nice.
In Jimmy's Comedy Alley, I think it was.
Yeah. Well, right. It was the Voodoo Lounge, which is one iteration past Jimmy's Comedy Alley.
Right. In Bayside, Queens. It was like the hottest friggin' day of the year.
And the AC broke.
And the AC broke. And
boiling.
It was
goodness.
packed. I mean, and Godfrey told me, John said, "Why'd you have such a good opening band?" You know. But anyway, John was dressed in like a leather outfit, and it was friggin' burning hot down there. But anyway, we had I had a Polaroid camera, so I was able to take a picture. It was the first day I ever met John, and so I was taking pictures with these Polaroids, and I still have the picture. Me and John, and I got some with you too. They were Polaroids.
Yeah.
John goes, "Do you want me to sign your thing?" I said, "Yeah." He sure, because it came right out, and he had it right there. He goes, "What do you want me to write?" And I said, "To my best friend Kenny."
Yep.
So I was being a wise ass.
Yep.
But anyway, so he goes, "Okay." He goes, "Here, I left out the R, to my best fiend Kenny."
Oh,
that's what he did. And I still have it. It's to my best fiend.
That is John.
That's great. And we're talking about great singers. We have Sue Turner sitting here.
Oh yeah.
Sue, I want you to know that I yelled at him like a month ago or so, maybe a little longer. When was the last Harry Chapin thing?
December?
December, yeah.
Yeah. You guys went up and you did Taxi and you did Sequel
wow.
and instead, there's a lot of stuff in Taxi, and I said and Sue said, in the lyrics. So you sang those lines, and then you guys go into Sequel and there's same thing. And I said and Sue said to me, and he doesn't have you sing any Sue's lines. He took it all for himself.
I know.
So I yelled at him live here on the show. I want you to know that. I came to your defense, and I want yes.
That's right. Cover up, Frank.
That's right.
Should be ashamed. Unbelievable.
Well, it just so happens
your
that
brother?
her name is Sue, and so
Right.
she said, and she goes, "How are
Right,
you, Harry?"
right.
And I turned to her and I said, "How are you, Sue?"
Right.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It worked out perfectly. Then he's singing Sequel, and there's a lot
he
more.
dropped
He
the ball.
totally
He
dropped the
dropped
ball.
the
Yeah,
Yep.
just stomped all over it.
Nothing new.
That's right. I yelled at him. And I was very upset about that.
I love you, brother Frank. Don't you ever yell at him again.
How did you guys? How long have you guys been married?
We got married in 11, but we met in 99.
Oh, okay. Very
and
nice.
I met him because I saw the name of the band, Wondrous Stories, which as I told you, I was a
Good
big Yes
Times
fan.
magazine.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was on the Good
Famous.
Times paper. You had to have them in the bars and everything.
Yeah.
And so I saw that, and this is 99,
Mhm.
and no bands are doing this music, and it's saying music of Genesis
Right.
and the Beatles,
Yes.
and obviously Yes, and I said, well, anybody who can do Yes, I have to go see.
Nice.
Because I got to have some kind of chops, in order
Yeah.
to do Yes. And I was never disappointed. I've been
Nice.
going ever since. So.
You saw the band and said, that's the guy for me right there.
Well,
That's it."
no. No, I said that's the band for me.
Yeah, right.
Well, I met in 99, got married in 11. It was, she had some work to do.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. That was a long courtship.
I remember looking down, and I didn't know her, and she's got this big smile, and I smiled right back at her.
Nice.
The rest
Smart
is
man.
history.
Smart man. And what were you? What's your musical history? You've been playing in bands all these years. I don't think I've ever asked you that.
At that time, when I met him, I was working with a 17-piece orchestra.
Oh, okay. Yes, I do remember hearing that now.
And I
Okay.
was working a lot in the city, so I was coming from the city and then going to see them.
Yeah.
And I thought, and this was like an earlier gig that I went to, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to go see them now after the gig. And I get there, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and they went on about 11, I guess.
Wow.
I couldn't wait that long. I also had a day gig. I was a nurse.
Oh, okay.
With your mother-in-law.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
And so I couldn't wait, but I came back because I had to see them, but I just had to make it a different time. But yeah, so I did that. I did jazz gigs. I worked at Sonny's a lot.
Okay.
With Frank O'Brien, who was a
Wow.
wonderful keyboard
Great.
player.
Yeah. Okay.
And I worked with what's his name from Billy Joel?
Mark Rivera.
No, the
Richie Canada.
No,
What instrument?
A horn, trumpets. And
Carl Fisher.
Yes, thank you.
Carl Fisher.
Oh my God, my brain is gone.
I love the feeling.
yeah, she played a lot of gigs with Carl
So,
Fisher.
Oh, very nice.
So he played a few times with us because he was very young then. He was just a kid, really.
Yeah.
But I got to
good.
see a lot of people at Sonny's. They had great jazz musicians in there.
Oh, that's great.
She met Ed Ryan when he was a
I
kid.
met Ed, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
He was at Richard M. Dixon's White House.
Oh, in Mass
Remember
Speakman.
that? Yes.
Yep.
And they had all kinds of talent. And
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's where I met him first.
Oh, that's funny. And yeah, he started out, in the comedy world.
Yeah.
So we started going out in like October of '99, and then she goes, I go to this Christmas party with all these jazz people, and there's a lot of great singers there. So I go, and they're playing piano, and the guy that played with, I think he played with Sinatra and everything, that older piano player.
Yeah.
Oh, Roy Cohn.
Ray Cohn.
Ray Cohn.
Ray Cohn.
Not Roy Cohn.
Ray Cohn.
That's another show.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Anyway.
But anyway, so all these singers start coming up, and they're like really good. And then Sue gets up and sings, and she's talking about how good they are. And I hear Sue sing, and I went, "What?"
Oh,
I
yeah.
said, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah.
And I was like, Jeez.
Back in the day, you know.
No, it's still this day too. You're still you're quite the singer.
Well, thank you, sweetie.
Absolutely.
Actually, if there's time, do you feel like singing something?
No, I don't.
Okay. Never mind. I was going to ask if like Joan Baez song.
No, that's not. happening.
Wow. Shot him right down.
No, I'm sorry. I just.
No, it's,
that's what you get for singing her part, Frank.
That's right. You see that?
I can understand.
I get up at the crack of noon. I'm just saying. So I'm not ready.
This is early for us.
Were you being a nurse with my mother-in-law? Did you work with her too?
No, I didn't actually work
but
with
you were
her.
both.
We were in the same hospital.
Oh, see that I didn't even know that.
Oh yes.
Oh, okay.
38 years she was at the same hospital.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
My kids were born there.
Yeah, which one?
The old Central General.
Oh,
I was born there.
Frank was born there. All right. All right. So we got about 5 minutes left. So what I do, and I don't know if I've done it with you before or not, but what I do with a lot of our guests, I go on Facebook and I look at mutual friends, and I'm just going to throw a bunch of names out, and you guys can say anything you want, good, bad. You don't have to say anything if you don't want to. Some of the names are for all three of you. Some of them might be just for one of you. I'm just going to throw the names out and see where we go.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Name number 1, Al Messina. Well, all right, I'll help.
Is it bigger than a bread box?
Bass player for Seconds Out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I like the guy.
Great
a lot.
band.
He's a nice guy.
That is a good band.
Great band.
Yeah.
I really like them.
Me too.
Yeah. I just met the lead singer. Actually, he's very good.
Mm-hmm.
He's he's not the lead singer, Al, but he does the secondary vocals more than anybody else in the band.
Yeah.
And, they are they're a lot younger than me. So for them to like that kind of music and try and
very entertaining,
very daring stuff they do.
Yeah, they're not sticking to hits or anything, right? Which is nice.
Are they Genesis? No. Are we Genesis when we play? No. But they're trying hard and
they're very
good.
sincere.
They're good.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're very good.
Yeah. Caroline Purr.
Yeah.
I know the name.
All right. She's let's see. She's currently in Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She's in a background singer in an Adele tribute.
Okay.
She's around.
Good. She's good too.
Very good.
I don't. A lot of these people, and maybe you're going to name some.
That's all right.
They friended me. I had more than 5,000 friends like a long time ago, so I had to get another page, and I don't even use the other pages too much.
Right.
Well, that's what happens when you're Kenny Forgione.
I don't know everybody.
No, I hear you.
No.
Yeah.
Diane McCardle Fogarty or Fogarty McCardle. I don't even know how she.
I know her. Yeah, she's a nice girl.
She's
and
great.
She's a good singer too.
Fantastic singer. Dennis Cashton. Sound guy at the Space.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, Dennis.
Great dude.
It's taken a little time to sink in, but I like him a lot.
Yeah, good dude.
Yep.
Alana Hayden.
Oh, I know Alana. Yeah.
Singer. She was with David Clark for a while.
Yeah,
doing the Billy
that's
Joel
that's
thing.
right. That's right. Yeah.
Now I think she moved somewhere. Her bass player is her boyfriend, Mike Leslie.
Mike Leslie. I know Mike actually pretty well. Yeah.
Mike's a great dude.
Yeah.
Like Mike a lot.
I did. Yeah. I briefly played with Mary Wilson with
oh,
Mike,
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Jerry Ferretti. I think it was on your list, Kenny. I think he's a local actor. I don't know if that helps.
Jerry Ferretti.
He's an actor?
Yes, an actor.
Some of the people I know by look too, and they
sure, I hear you.
But
all right, Hicksville's own Guy Bronya.
Yes,
Guy is a good guy.
He's a sound man too.
Yes, him and Rick. Him and Rick Eberly, right.
Yep.
And Guy, did you see that? Guy is he's no longer going to be downstairs.
I saw that.
All music in Plainview. They're after 40 years, they're moving upstairs.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a good guy too.
Yeah, Rick. Guy is awesome. Joe Halupa.
Sounds familiar.
Not Mike Halupa.
Mike's brother.
Oh, of the photography.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know him well.
Oh, okay. I've known Joe since I was like a teenager. This next name you'll definitely know, John Blenn.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
No, we know John.
Enough said. No.
I took out ads in his Island Ear Do you remember the Island?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he worked at Westbury Music Fair. Yeah.
Now he's at the Pat Jog Theater.
Oh, is he? Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
John makes a habit of putting. And meanwhile, back in high school, and he puts a famous person from now who's like maybe in their 50s or 60s, and he puts a high school picture.
Yeah, I like those posts. I like those posts.
Yeah, I like those. Yeah, me too.
John Scarpula.
John, I know John.
Yeah, you guys done some Broadway stuff together or no?
I'm trying to think. Have we done, I don't know if we do Broadway, but we've done.
I think
I'm going to give you I'm going to give you a qualified yes on that, but I can't think of exactly what the show.
We'll take it.
I think John is playing with Diana.
Yeah,
Ross, right?
Yes, that is correct.
He's Diana Ross's musical director, I believe.
Is he?
I think is he?
I think so. I'm
I
not
didn't
positive.
know that.
But yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I got two more names, and then then we got to get out of here. Jim Moran.
Jim.
Jim is awesome.
Jim's awesome. Yeah.
And then Russell Javers.
I met Russell probably within the last 5 years. At a Lords of 52nd Street show.
I met him.
Yeah.
I don't really know him.
I don't really know him.
but
Funny guy. He's got an off sense of humor, which I love, and he's a big Yankee fan. I won't hold that against him.
No. Well,
not everybody's perfect. Tony.
That's right. That's right.
Go Mets.
Da, da, da.
Yeah.
All right.
It is high.
There you go.
That ball is high. It is caught at the wall.
All right. With that, it is time to go. So quickly before we go, what's coming up? You have. I think you're playing this weekend, right?
We are. And you know what? It's not very often that Chris plays a full gig with us by himself as a keyboard player. But he's playing this Saturday with us at
nice.
EGP Land and Sea. I hope I get my voice back.
Where is that?
That's in Island Park.
Island Park?
Oh, okay. I'm not familiar with that place.
Yeah,
Okay.
I wasn't either.
It's got good food.
Very good food.
And, and they like the band a lot. We played there a few times, and they really like the band. So after we pull out all this prog stuff, I'm not so sure.
I don't think there's a cover charge either. I think it's
No, it's free. Yes.
Oh, nice.
We play from like 7 to 10:30.
It's a restaurant.
Saturday.
Oh, okay.
It's a good
Right.
restaurant.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well.
All right.
So
with a big bar, and it's very lively.
Cool. All right.
it's
Very
a good
nice.
place.
All
Good
right.
place.
Wondrous Stories, like that. Social media, like that's the Facebook. Or wondrousstories.com.
Wondrous dash. Put a dash in between the wondrous and the stories. Wondrous-stories.com.
Oh, okay. Very nice. And Chris, I believe there's something new out of John Anderson out, right?
Yes, he has. Two things. One is a new record called True, which is it's actually John Anderson and the Band Geeks.
Nice.
And it's all new music.
Oh,
which
cool.
Is,
Great.
which is.
So you're all over it since it's the Band Geeks, right?
Yes,
Very nice.
Yeah, they'll let me play on it.
It's
Congratulations to you, Tom. That's great.
It's very reminiscent of Yes.
Oh yeah.
Counties
the
and
old
countries.
Yes.
Counties Countries is nice. Yeah,
That's great.
I like that.
Yeah.
one.
Very nice.
Right, so that's and that's been out, and we're happy with that. And hopefully we're going to do more of it in the concert.
Okay.
So it's great.
Cool.
And also there's to be released soon is a live record. Live DVD from 2023. It's called Perpetual Change.
So the live video that I just saw this morning, I think it was a brand new. So is it from that?
Yes.
Okay.
I've seen all good people from.
Yes, that's what it was. Yes,
yeah.
sorry. Very nice.
Yeah, so that's a complete live show from 2023 featuring the Gates of Delirium, which we're very happy about because it's like one of our all-time favorites.
Oh, very nice.
Mine too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
to have a nice document of that is like a bucket list.
That's
we're
cool.
really happy with that. Yeah.
Very nice.
If I may say,
Yeah.
I sometimes I say some wacky stuff. Just probably I put my foot in my mouth a lot. And I
can do that.
make fun, but I have to say, Chris Clark, besides being a friggin' amazing musician, is a gentleman. He's a real sweet guy.
Yes,
He's a
he
good,
is.
Like,
good man.
very nice. Oh, that was nice for you to say. Very nice.
Thanks.
Tony, back
Well-
that up. Show him.
What?
What you said.
I could put my foot in my mouth. Yeah, that's. that's easy for me to do. But
No,
Do it.
don't do it.
Oh, he figured me out once.
I'm going to ask everybody in the room one question.
Okay.
Does anybody else see a Gene Wilder effect over here besides
Oh,
Ray?
definitely, 100%.
Oh, that's funny. I've never.
100%.
Yes. Okay.
100%.
When I had longer hair, I walked into a supermarket and a 16-year-old girl behind the counter said, Willy Wonka! And I went, well, I don't like to brag. But no, and she thought I was Willy Wonka.
Oh,
She
my
goes,
God.
are you really him? And I said, no, I'm not.
My brother Stephen would always get in stores at times when he's with his wife. People would come up to him and ask him if he's Stephen King.
Oh,
Wow. Really a slight resemblance,
That's
right?
scary.
And, he'd be like, no, I'm not him, but I get that all the time. So his wife would be down the aisle not knowing he's getting stopped again. And she'd be like, Steve, come on, we got to go. And people, it is. They think, and it's not him.
That's funny. All right. It is definitely time for us to go.
Okay.
Guys, when everybody's feeling good again, let's do this again and let's play some tunes.
Great.
Happy birthday, pal.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. And thanks for spending some of your birthday with us. That was
I'd like
very
to
nice.
thank all the little people, especially people shorter than me.
Right. Thank goodness for a 7-second delay.
Now, and there's still nothing, right? No. The promote. Okay. Who's coming in next week as our musical guest?
I believe it's Joe Scolo.
Oh.
Joe Scolo.
Did you? Yeah. And actually, we're talking about Arnold Heck. He's going to be here in March.
Oh, great.
Okay.
So that's going to be good.
Cool.
What's that?
Get these guys maybe on the 16th at Westbury, possibly.
Yeah.
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 Right.
Okay.
May 16th.
May 16th.
May 16th at Westbury Music Fair.
Yeah.
All right. It is, like I said, we definitely got to get out of here because
Okay.
we got another show at 1 o'clock. Sports Bash with Peter Schwartz coming at you at 1 o'clock. What's today? Thursday. I think that's it for today. But at the club this weekend, Leah Rudek, Terry McNeely, Hugh Murray, Tony Landolfi, Johnny Watson, Samantha Ramsdell is tonight. Louis C.K. starts, I think it's tomorrow night here at the at Governor's, I think. Yeah,
Wow.
he's hitting all 3 Governor's comedy clubs within the next week. So go to govs.com, make reservations at some great comedy shows, and, of course, keep it locked here at Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. We got to go. See you at 1 o'clock with Peter Schwartz. Thanks, guys. Thank you, everybody.